So this is a Bailey Pursuit 404, going to take 402. So I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch, and handbrake, and that'll all be demonstrated to you in person here on site. On the right hand side of the van at the front, you've got your wind down leg to stabilise the caravan. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs, they are just there for stabilising. It could potentially damage the floor of the caravan if you ever lift the van with the legs. Got your water pump connection, which simply clicks into the side of the van as you can see, and the pump drops down inside the aqua roll. You've then got your heating and hot water gas flue. You never cover this up. It does always need to be open so it can vent as it needs to. Then you've got your motor mover on either side of the van at the bottom, and we'll demonstrate that while you're here on site in person. Wheel nuts, we'll torque these to the correct manufacturer's torque setting prior to the caravan being taken away. You've then got your fridge vents on the side of the van. These fridge vents there to essentially allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit. You've got a gas flue on the right hand side here for when it's ignited on gas, the gas system can run as it needs to. And they will also take in some cool air to cool the back of the fridge unit. The fresh water that goes in the front of the van has to come out somewhere, and that comes out through these two grey vents down the side of the caravan. So your pipe work will fit into the two large diameter grey holes on the outside. You've then got your toilet flush tank. The toilet flush tank takes 3.5 litres of water and a capful of the pink fluid prior to use. Toilet waste cassette comes out by pulling the orange handle up. You've got a neck here that turns out to allow you to tip the waste away. You've got an orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, and that's simply there to let the pressure out of the cassette while you're tipping the waste away. Before you use the cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a capful of the blue fluid. At the rear of the van on either side, you've got the legs again to stabilise the van, but like I said, you would never lift the caravan with these. On the door side of the caravan, you've got your gas locker, so you've got your gas bottle tie downs in there. You've then got your battery box and your mains power in. Going inside of the caravan, very simple to use. You've got mains power on the control panel on the left hand side as you walk in the door. Got your internal lights, your awning lights, and your water pump run. I'll come back to this in a second. I'll demonstrate how that works. I'm going to turn that off for a moment. To fill the water system, you're first of all going to need to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van. And you're going to need to make sure the yellow drain down valve is parallel with the floor. So that yellow drain down valve is just down behind that bit of pipe work just there, sorry. Can't quite see it in the video. Oh, sorry, wrong side of it. Just down behind that little bit of pipe work that you see there. And that valve is going to need to be parallel with the floor before you fill the water system. If that valve's upright and it's pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it'll actually drain all the water out of the system on board the van. So you'll make sure that valve's parallel with the floor, as I said. You'll then come over to every tap on board the caravan. Open up all the taps on the hot side of the water system to bleed the water system. So you'll open all the taps up, so this tap here in the kitchen, the one in the bathroom, and the one on the shower. Once all of these taps are opened, as you can see they are at the moment, you'll come over to the control panel by the door again, and you'll press the water pump switch. Green light will come on to let me know the water pump is running. Once the water system's full, you're going to have water flowing out of every tap on the caravan continuously. So as we have now, we've got water running continuously. And at that point, you can shut each tap off. You'd always make sure the water system is completely bled prior to turning on the heater system, the water system. So there we go, water system's bled there. And as you can see, on the shower also. At that point, once the water system's full, you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So you've got a control panel here, which is your Truma heating and hot water control panel. You'll press the central button, there we go, and the control panel will come on. Let me try and clear the screen up a little bit before we start talking about it. There we go. So, this is the control panel turned on, it's letting me know we've got mains power coming in. Press the central button here, and the first icon we see is the room temperature for the caravan. So what I can do is we'll press on that icon once it's come on. So we'll press on that icon. There we go. And then you can control the temperature of the heating by spinning the dial to the way you'd like it to be. So for instance, 20 degrees. And that is your room temperature set. Next one across is the water temperature. So you'll spin the dial across to the water temperature. Press the button again. And you've got 40, 60 or boost, depending on if you're showering in the caravan or you just want hot water. For now, we're going to leave the hot water turned off. We're also going to turn down the heating because it is around 35 degrees today, I'd imagine. 25 degrees today, sorry. We'll then come across to the power source. So we're going to select the power source we want to use for heating the heating and hot water system. So you've got gas on its own, which with the gas turned on, you'll press the central button. Gas system will kick in and it will start operating as you'd expect. Mix 1 is 1000 watts of electric and gas coming into the caravan at the same time. Mix 2 is 2000 watts of electric and gas at the same time. Electric 1, 1000 watts of power on its own. And electric 2, 2000 watts of power on its own. Once you've selected the one you want to use, so for instance electric 2, we'll press the central button in, and that will allow the heating and hot water system to start running at 1000 watts on electric. Next up is the fan symbol for the blown air heating. You'll press the fan symbol option. You've got off, vent, as you can see here, and then you've got your fan speed between 1 and 10. Set the fan speed, you'll press the central button. The fans will kick in and they can be used as a cooling fan if you haven't got the heating on. Down the bottom here, you've got 3 icons down the bottom. Now for these, we advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. You've got a timer for your heating hot water, you've got the clock set, and you've got some advanced options in here. If I tried taking you through these in the video for the van, it'd probably take me around 2 to 3 hours to complete. Next up is the fridge system. Very, very simple to use. You've got off at the top here. You've got 240 mains here, and you'll control the temperature of the fridge on electric on this dial on the right hand side. You've got 12 volts from the car you're towing with, so essentially you'll connect the car to the caravan, turn the fridge on, and if you want to use the fridge as a cool box to get the beers and wine nice and cold when you arrive on site, you'll select the 12 volt mode here, and that will allow the fridge to cool. Temperature control will be completely irrelevant at that point due to the fact it doesn't actually make the fridge completely cold. Like I said, it is just a cool box. To operate the fridge on gas, very simple to do. You spin the dial to the bottom here and put it on the gas option. You'll press in the temperature control and hit the igniter at the same time. Once it's ignited, this little orange line that you see in the window here will actually come round into this green section, and that is essentially your pilot light for the fridge system. Once that line has got round into the green, you'd continue to hold the temperature dial in for around 5 to 10 seconds just to allow the thermocouple to warm up. Then you'll slowly release the gas valve, and then I advise you keep an eye on the orange line for a further 5 to 10 seconds after that. If it stays in the green, you're good to go, and the fridge will start cooling down. It will take a while, especially in the heat like we've got today for instance, for it to completely cool down, but like I said, bear with it and it will happen. To turn the fridge off, you turn the dial back round to the off position at the top here. Microwave that you see behind the door works very much like your household appliance, no differences at all there. The same with your hob, grill and oven. The only thing you need to remember is with the hob, grill and oven is to turn on the gas supply in the side locker. The last thing we can go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system. You've got an electric flush on top of the toilet. You've got a toilet full indicator light, so essentially this light will come on and let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. That will essentially go red when that cassette is full, and that will mean you need to empty the cassette. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see, so you to get comfortable. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure it's pointing straight towards the door area of the caravan rather than being turned at any sort of angle. Below the toilet, you'll notice there's a grey handle. That grey handle, before you use the loo, needs to be pushed across to allow the toilet waste to go in the cassette under the van. Once you've finished, if you pull it back across, it will stop any smells coming up inside the van. Now, if you have any further questions on the Bailey Pursuit 402, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.